Well, I found the entrance to the graveyard and I knocked on the door. There's no one home. So I guess we'll go around the property and kind of skirt our way backwards. I haven't really done a whole lot of this summer. For obvious reasons. Look out, snakes, here I come. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. And as you can see, I am knee deep in weeds again, and in an old cemetery, as usual. Just finished a story about a gentleman right here, and I figured since we were at this really old cemetery, and a lot of these are undocumented graves, some are, some are not, I figured I'd just kind of take the camera since we were already here, just kind of look around a little bit and just see who we see what kind of stories there are, and old lost stories and lost graves, and you never know. I've said 1,000 times, you never know who you'll meet in a cemetery. As strange as that sounds, it's actually very, very, very true. But there's a lot of older looking ones here. Very pretty place though, just way back on a mountainside in eastern Kentucky, near a little town called Belfry. But anyway, alright, it's not that big. Looks like maybe 75 grave sites, something like that. So we'll just get up here and start at the top and go from there. But it's a nice, beautiful day out today. Beautiful day for it. Low 80s, expected high around 82. So it's a good day for it. Now there's a couple here with some issues I see already. This one here's, there's a sunken spot. There's an unmarked one here, which I guess that's probably it there. It is worn out and fell over too. Can't read anything on that one. Look at this one. Just sad, isn't it? You know, you see these graves and things are broken over and busted, and when you put your family out there, you like to think that the marker's going to last for forever, hopefully. You know, it's stone, but stone wears too. This is Rosina Mullins, 1880 to 1943. So that is a replacement stone, probably for this one, most likely. Johnny E. Mullins, 1884 to 1929. There are some pretty old ones here, huh? Getting back into the 18s. You can see here, this one used to have, you can see what's left of a retaining wall. Many, many, many years ago, when these were first dug, someone's put a retaining wall up to keep everything still, but time weathers everything, doesn't it? This looks like an old military. Could be wrong. Nope. James C. Hackney, 1913-1952. I see infant. Oh no, in loving memory of Father Jim Hackney, 1881 to 1956. Like I said, I'm sure most of these are probably unlisted, unknown. And you know, if you've been watching the channel, we've run across a lot of interesting characters doing this. Lost Hatfield McCoy feud participants and everything. Found 2 of those. This is Fern Childers, no dates. Doc Childers, also no date. Look here. What in the world are you eating, dude? What is that? Oh my God, we've killed something. Turtles are turning carnivorous, y'all. This just says Ellen, E-L-E-N. Wow, look at that. That is crazy. What are you doing? Oh my God, there's a tooth in that. Turtle eating rabbit. That ain't no squirrel. That's a big thick tooth. That's a rabbit. Something like that. Groundhog. Wow, that is crazy though. Anyway, here's 2. This one is unmarked. There's a stone right there, no name. And a field stone here. This is Helen Dotson, 1923 to 1971. A-U-B-A. Can't really make it out. Looks like there used to be a picture many years ago, 1875 to 1949. Never can tell. Sometimes you'll do a search and find other people. I wonder if that's... It looks very similar, doesn't it? Like the 2 may have been made together. George? C-O-R-C-O. Cott. C-O-T-T. That's a T. Now there's 2 here. A broken one. Look at that old one. Look at that. That's a handmade one. Winson. W-I-N-S-O-N. Winson Maynard. Hand carved in a rock. That's pretty cool. And the cross too. Someone actually carved this into this flat rock and did a really good job. Somebody spent a lot of time on that. That one has no name. Nothing. This may be a replacement for that. And here's another one. Another handmade one. E-O-E-O-G-H. Maynard. E-D. Could be a D? E-D. Very similar though. Same person made both. This one is, I can see Maynard. M-A-Y-N-A-R-D. Just barely. And nothing on the back. Unmarked. Okay, look at those. Little row. Little foot markers. I've seen like a lot of those used as headstones. Looks like that's what the case is here. Unless they go to those, it's a possibility. We'll take a look. The stone. This is Thomas Isaac Reynolds, 1850 to 1938, and Martha Jane Reynolds, 1856 to 1944. Wow. Wow, that is wild, isn't it? He passed away during, well, they both passed away during World War II. That is wild, isn't it? They saw a completely different world than the one that we live in. It's kind of amazing, isn't it, to think what their world must have been like. Okay, no name there. There's something. P-R-A, looks like L-E, Prail, could be, 1889 to 1945. That's an old one there, isn't it? It was Prater, because this one's Prater. Elder W.J. Prater, born September 1867 and died in 1934. Elder W.J. Prater. I'm assuming a pastor, a preacher, and presumably his wife. O.P. Runyon, 1855 to 1897. Pricey M., his wife. Okay, died June 1st, 1885. That's an old one there, isn't it? 1885. Young man, too. Alright, we're going this way. Thomas Runyon, 1872 to 1937, and Louise Scott Runyon, 1873 to 1962. There's three here. Mary V. Runyon, 1914-1998. And Trimble, 1900 to 1970, and Peruna, P-E-R-U-N-A, 1905 to 1934. 1914 to 1998, that's how you do it. And of course, like I said, this is the one that we actually came to do the story about today for the other video. Colonel Joseph Mickey, 1882 to 1952, and his wife Dixie, 1889 to 1974. She lived a couple decades after him. There's another short one too. Seems to be a few of those. Annabelle Browning, 1917 to 1932. Somebody's put a new one out and keeps it pretty clean. And this one's almost certainly a child. Browning, 1948. Jerry Lee, born 2/8, died, both in 1948. Looks like about 4 months old, 5 months old, something like that. Jerry Lee Browning. See this one. Another Thomas Runyon, 1940, 1940. Okay, I got a little row right there. Don't want to miss them. Okay, there's a few stones that are no name on them. This is Bessie. Okay, Bessie Patrick and Lewis Patrick. Bessie is 1907 to 1941, and Lewis Patrick, 1904, no death date. Victor Runyon, 1884, 1944. Lisa Hatfield Runyon, 1888, 1962. Hatfield name stands out considering the area. Betty Jean Reed, 1946 to 1957. Gotta be rough losing a kid. My sister lost one. Nothing. Emma S. Oh, it's Emma Sparks. Emma Sparks, 1899 to 1918. Now this is one of the, I don't know if y'all have seen these or not. This is something a little different. These are Woodsman of the World. I don't know if y'all have seen these. There's a Woodsman of the World stone. They used to be like themes, and there was also Sears sold them. You see a lot of them that have the roll, like a roll on top and a scroll. And those were made by Sears. But this is a Woodsman of the World. This is Jane Hunt, 1870 to 1925. Thomas Hunt, 1861 to 1954. Infant Hunt, no name, April 23rd, 1930 to April 23rd, 1930. Son of C.C. and Octavia Ramey, 1931, February 11th. Little teddy bear, look at that. Look at the teddy bear. All covered in mildew. Stuck to the ground. I would fix it, but I'm afraid it'd just tear it to pieces if I tried. Franklin J. Ramey, July 10th, 1953 to October 29th, 1953. There's three of them here. Jack Noel Stallard, 1927. Betty Marie Stallard, 1931, and unborn male Stallard, 1933. Now there's a few here that are old stones, nothing on them. Same thing down here. Alright, let's go through the weeds here. You got to watch these here, these four-sided kiosks. Sometimes they'll be more than one side used. Sometimes it's just one stone, one grave. Sometimes there'll be four laid out like that, like a cross. This is Elsie C. Lane, March 29th, 1884 to January 24th, 1924. Sid L. Runyon, Ohio. What's this now? World War II or something? 1949, died in 49. Sid L. Runyon, Ohio, Private 80th Company Coast Artillery, February 4th, 1887 to April 29th, 1949. Lynn Boyd Runyon, 1866 to 1937. Nothing on that one. It's just a shaped rock to indicate a grave. Another kiosk. See, this one's more in the light. See, this side's not carved, and now there's that one. Just this one. Judge B. Hatfield. Huh. Really? Hope across the top. Judge B. Hatfield was born November the 17th, day 1839, D. July 9th, 1926. Nancy Jane Hatfield, his wife, was born October the 1st, day 1844, and died October the 25th, day 1918. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Okay, now this little handful right here is all I've got left. Of course, there's, some more of these, unmarked. There's several right here as well. That one's got a little ceramic puppy. It's probably a baby. Fred Hunt, 1896 to 1987, and Eula Hunt, 1893 to 1955. Mother, Molly Bailey, 1887 to 1948. And if you look, guys, this is more of a classic kind of headstone. This is what you would have expected, back in 1948. Just a straight slab with a straight stone and your name carved on it, and everything squared off well. This obviously is a little newer. It's probably, no? Oh, 95. I see why. I was thinking it was a replacement stone for some reason on an old grave. This is Barbara Jo Runyon, SGM. I'm assuming that's Sergeant Major, U.S. Army. June 20th, 1932 to April 29th, 1995. Now, any of you military people, feel free to correct me if I got that wrong. If SGM is not Sergeant Major, y'all feel free to, point that out. I'll keep that in mind in future videos. Claude Runyon, June 8th, 1902 to August 6th, 1962. And the last one, this is Amos Runyon, 1881 to 1962. And Fanny Jane Runyon, 1882 to 1968. Okay. Yes, there's only a few more. Stephen Trout, 1810 to 1893. And there's some pretty old graves, aren't they? And Mariah Hunt. I like that name, Mariah. Mariah Hunt, 1837 to 1921. Mariah Hunt Trout. And look at this one. I don't even know if I'll be able to read this. Runyon. No, it's at 1801, 1855. This is definitely an old one. 1855. Look at that. That's give you an idea of just how old this graveyard is. Double check. Yeah, it's a 5. 1855. 1883 here. It says, I might be able to, E-N-N-Y? Huh? Jenny Runyon, 1810, 1883, A-D-R-O-N. And probably, obviously, I see A-D-R-O-N. Can't really, Adrian. I don't know. 1801, 1855 though. Some more stones. And looks like these here, this one right here, is the last one of the day. Look at this. Hello. Whoa. Whoa. Look what I just found. Oh my God, the last one. A Revolutionary War soldier. John Runyon, 1761 MD, 1845 KY. Born in Maryland, that's it, 1761 in Maryland. And died in 1845 in Kentucky. I get it. And Elizabeth Runner, R-U-N-N-E-R, Runner. Born in 1759 in Virginia and died in 1845 here in Kentucky. Wow, look at that. It says Patriot on it. Wow, has the SAR, Sons of the American Revolution. That is amazing. Now that caught me off guard. I did not expect that. That was the last grave of the day. That's a really nice, that is a really nice finishing touch. I like that. That's a really good one to end on, I do believe. Revolutionary War soldier. I did not know he was here. No clue whatsoever. Imagine that. Alright guys, anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the video roaming around, you know, the pretty countryside. Granted, it's in the weeds, but it's still pretty countryside. As far as if you're going to have to be buried somewhere, you could do a whole lot worse than here. And it's very quiet, very peaceful. Birds and animals and vegetation. It's a nice place to rest. Anyway guys, I guess I'm gonna get on out of here. It's been a long day, and get this video back home and let Heather get started doing her magic. So we'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a really good day. And from a side of a mountain near Belfry, Kentucky, at the gravesite of a Revolutionary War soldier, this is Leo with the Hillbilly Files.